Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Possibilities podcast. My name is Rob. I'm here with Mike and Tim. We're going to be doing a blind reaction video today to something called 57 Years Difference, I think it's called, Tim.
Apart.
57 years apart, and I think it's purely kind of an introspective / retrospective view between a child and an older person, of course, from the title of the video. Don't know anything about it, as I said. I think it's a couple of minutes long. Yeah, we're going to blind react, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some interesting conversations, some talking points, and something a bit different to some of the videos we've been doing the last couple of times. So, as always, please give us your thoughts in the comments, any other recommendations along these lines, or any other videos you'd like us to react to. And yeah, super keen to hear everyone's thoughts, our take on this video.
What?
Oh, you have yours. What's that?
I just say there's a difference straight away
I
there.
don't know where the question.
Kid straight up to the seat. Woohoo! Alo just gets on and walks on.
Questions about
yeah.
going. Oh, right, okay.
Energy
No
straight
fear.
away. Yeah, no fear.
Love it.
What's that?
I don't know where the question. I don't know where the song is.
Well, can I ask you a question, the first one? Right. What is the worst thing about being young?
Well, you get lots of homework. It's also pretty. They're like in the middle, like in school, like in the middle of bad and good.
Oh,
What is the worst thing about being old?
not being able to do things that you could do when you were young.
You can't bend down and get stuff on the floor.
Well, I can still do that, but the problem is your body gets a bit stiff.
I know it hurts a lot when you're
Yeah.
trying to get down when you like.
That's right, yes. You might get sick more often. Hopefully I don't. But that's the problem.
That's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad.
The only time I went to a hospital is my mom to like get me born.
Do you know when he says you might get sick a bit more?
Yeah.
That kid is probably thinking sick. Oh, cold, runny nose. That guy's actually thinking, well, sick to me could be an illness that I'm not going to recover from. Their idea of sickness would be completely different at them stages in life, and I actually felt like a bit of fear in his voice when he goes, hopefully I don't. That kid would be like, I don't like a cold either, but that guy's thinking, I hope I don't get so much finishes me off early.
I think immediately
I felt that in his
mortality,
voice.
Like that.
Yeah, I felt that in his
weighs
voice.
Heavy on him, doesn't it? Where, what concept does the child have of their own mortality? They're going to live forever at that age, aren't they?
Funny enough, I remember, and I never found this quote again, but I remember someone saying, and this is awful, sad, your childhood is over the moment you realise you're going to die. And I was like, whoa, and that always stuck at me, and I heard it a long time ago, and I've never found it since, but I remember it stuck true that your childhood's over the moment you realise you're going to die. I was like, whoa, that's heavy.
Just go back to
sorry, go on.
No, I was saying it's a really tough concept because you think you're Superman or Superwoman, super person, all the way until something happens, right, in your life. Your perspective change. Yeah. Roll it back 10 seconds, perhaps.
Yeah, let's see the bit when he says that. Hopefully I won't. That was.
And it's almost like already this is a deep conversation for him, where for the boy he's just having a chat. He'll be watching cartoons and eating pizza later, and it's like the weight of the conversation probably I can't see it resonating as much with the boy. Do you know what I mean?
Look at the screenshot there. You can see the weight in his eyes, his whole face, that he's like, that used to be him one day, and you don't sit there and think it's going to happen to you, but
yeah,
he's older, and it's going to.
It's because most of the time, like these type of concepts aren't like they're not like day-to-day things you think about until you get challenged for conversation and questions, right? Like,
I kind of like don't admit it. I mean, I know I'm obviously getting older, but I'm like, well, I'm not. I mean, someone said, 'cause I've had my brace put in. Someone was like, well, why are you waiting until you're 40 to do that? and it's kind of like, well, my life's not over, and I'm not going to work like that. I'm going to go until I can go, and that's it. I'm not going to sit there and go. I think getting old now as a concept is, it's how you act, how you dress, and I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to carry on the same as it was. I think people don't really get old anymore in that respect. Some people do, but it's quite a hard topic sort of thing.
I think
Yeah, let's go.
it's a weird. Sorry, one more thing. There's
Sorry.
something between it, like when I look at him now, and where we paused this. It might just be unfortunate where I paused it, but it's almost like, he wants to impart his knowledge on the youngster, and he wants him to understand, but also, part of him won't want him to. Part of him won't want him to like know the truth of when you get older, things become more serious. Is you got to think about relationships and taxes and
Yeah,
all those worries. Part of him wants to let him know, but part of him also wants to like let him enjoy his youth and stuff.
his
I mean, how
youth.
many times did someone
Yeah,
tell you when you were younger, these are the best days of your life? And it doesn't mean you can't understand it fully when you're at that age.
yeah.
It's quite a weird concept, isn't it?
I remember when I was with my I was with my ex and her boy. I think he's 8, and he turned around and he's like, "Oh, am I going to die someday?" sort of thing. And I remember asking something like that when I was younger, and I said, "Well, everybody's going to sort of die." I said, and I was like, and I tried to flip it in the way that wasn't done for me when I was younger, because I was terrified of it when I was younger, and I was kind of like, "Well, would you want to be around forever?" Because everyone around you would be different, times would be different, so you wouldn't want to be around forever at the same time. But it's a hard topic to ask. But I remember asking something like that as a kid, and it absolutely traumatized me. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to die," and it's such a hard topic. Do you know what? I wonder. I don't know how long videos stay on YouTube, but I wonder if someone might see these in 50, 60, 70 years time, and one of us or all of us might not be here. It'd be like, when you look at the Friends cast now, you don't think that Chandler's not there, or you see them older and you go, "Whoa, that was 30 years ago." I wonder if someone might look at these videos, be watching them in their bedroom, about to do their GCSEs or whatever they'll be called then, and we might not even be here then. Think about that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was having a chat the other
Sorry.
day. I'm going on a bit of a tangent here now, but I was having a chat with someone the other day, and we were talking about Dad's Army, and actually, like, you watch an episode, and it's like they're all dead, basically. Like that's a moment in time that's been captured, and it makes
Yeah.
people laugh and things like that. But they're no longer here now, and it's like, yeah, it is. I think you're right. At some point, like media and things like this, they will outlive the people who record them. So I've no
Well,
doubt that
that's why
this is like a
I'm
legacy almost.
I'm such a big proponent, coming back on what you're saying, Tim, such a massive proponent of taking pictures and videos. People say, well, why do you want to do that? Well, it's because your memory might fail you, but an image is an image, right? Like
Ooh, I
it
never
could
looked at it
spark,
that way.
it could spark, like you like there's stuff that goes on 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it is, you just can't recall. But then guess what? You've got a photo catalog that will spark that memory, right? Because that's the way
Yeah.
your cognition, it's the way your memory works. It doesn't remember everything. It's almost like a virtual kind of scrub itself. It doesn't keep all data points, right? Or those, it's called episodic memory in the sense that like it will keep things that matter to you, right? And then your reticular activating system will buffer out everything else. And so I take I've got like 30,000 pictures and stuff, right, on my phone, and
Insane.
I'll take that. Then I'm able to go, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, I couldn't recall that, but now I do. I was there, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good way of memorializing everything, because, as I said, as you get older, in particular, especially of loved ones, if you can take videos, or if you can have your loved ones tell you stories and try and capture it, like voice recording or videos, whatever, it's so valuable to do, because as soon as that person's gone, you'll never hear those stories again, or you'll never hear their voice again, right? So taking an opportunity to ask them a question and have it recorded, that is such a valuable thing.
Well, like
That's so
you're
interesting.
so right. I had I've always taken pictures and videos and stuff like that. Primarily, I started like as soon as my kids were born, I started taking lots of pictures and things like that, because I didn't have many pictures of when I was young, sort of thing. Like probably 20 or something like that. I can remember. And every picture I look back, I think, oh my God, look what I was wearing, and it makes jogs memories. But I remember the bit that resonated with me so much was my nan passed away, and this was years ago now. But my nan passed away, and I remember I had an old video camera, and when I was younger, I'd run around with this video camera and I was filming and stuff like this. And I watched back the video camera, and I heard my nan's voice, and I thought, oh my God, because you have a memory of what it sounds like, and like you see pictures and things like this, but you hear the voice as well. That really
That's so
like blew my
powerful.
mind, and I was like, wow, that's so powerful.
You know what's interesting? I've been quite the opposite, but I'm sold now on what you've said. You know when you see massive historical events or you see people at concerts, and the first thing you see is everyone's like, and I'm like, oh, you're not in the moment at all because you're filming it and you're ruining it. So I went through a phase where I don't really keep pictures and that, to be fair. 'Cause I'm like, no, my memories are up there, but like Rob said, you know, your memory can fail you, or if you don't think about it, you forget. And
Yeah.
I've got pictures of when we were younger, when we all worked together and that, and I go, oh, I remember that night. I remember
Mm,
that. I remember Rob disappearing in a nightclub and then coming back with a crowd from a hen party or something, I think it was, and I think Ross was wearing a pink sash, and I was like, I forgot that completely until seeing the photograph, and it all come back. So there's definitely something in there about keeping the photos that I probably never really appreciated in the past, to be honest.
yeah,
Maybe I will take more photos now. I've deleted loads that I just thought, what's the point, you know? And now it kind of gives it a point.
Yeah. Let's keep going for a bit. This.
yeah.
Often? Hopefully I don't. But that's the
Yeah,
problem.
that's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad.
The only time I went to a hospital is my mom to like get me born.
Oh, yeah. Do you wish you were old?
Maybe, like, so I was old and so I can like buy stuff for my own and have been married, but that'll be you. Do you wish you were young? Why?
Well, the problem about, the great thing about being young is you have more time. You have more time to do things. I could play games, which I did. I used to play cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, that's what I play.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's what I like about being young. I could use my imagination more.
That's a sad story. You can't do that anymore.
Well, I could be an older cowboy. I might do it yet. Will you fall in love? And what will it
Give it
be
a pause
like?
a sec. Just
Yeah.
for a minute. Just say one or two statements, and then we can keep going. I just think it's so sad that as you get older, like there's restrictions, like perceived imposed restrictions on your ability to be imaginative. And when you have kids yourself, I think the good thing is it's a second phase of being able to be comfortable with playing again, and it'd be okay to play, because I think there's a stigma that's associated with, oh well, you're old now, stop acting like a child, or stop acting, why are you running around, or why are you jumping off things, be this, be
Mm,
that, don't do this, don't do that. And I think it's interesting that he's saying, you know what, well, I would get to do this, and it's like, well, why can't you? If you enjoyed playing with cowboys and Indians, yeah, you might think it's a little bit weird, perhaps, you know, publicly, but you can still do that stuff, you know.
I do feel like that he's coming across like he's already given up, this guy. I mean, I don't know how old he is. He might be 60, 70, something like that. My dad's 70 odd and still weights every single day, press ups every day, going out for cycles, coffee, drinking, everything as if he's younger. In that respect, his life hasn't changed. Maybe he couldn't pick up some things that he could do when he was younger. I don't think I will be like that, but this guy seems a little bit, you know, well, maybe if I had more time, I could be doing that. Well, he's got time right now. Why is he not doing it?
and maybe this is
Again,
that point in time where he's like, I think having that time to stop and reflect, maybe this is a reflection moment where he's, I'm getting hints of, it sounds like bloody a cocktail name, hints of hollyhock, whoosh up your nose. No, I'm getting hints of like regret from him. But also like when we talk about, his restrictions on how you can behave and how your imagination and that. Who puts those restrictions on? Is it yourself?
Society.
Is it
It's
society?
self-imposed societal perspective. Yeah, because you feel like it's like, for example, if he was in public now and I don't know, he was in a coffee shop or something and he pulled out a bunch of cowboy and Indian toys and started playing with them, like he definitely can do. But people around him would be like, "What is this guy doing? Like he's odd.
Yeah,
Like why is he playing with toys and stuff?" But like if a kid did that today, no problem at all. Don't
it's
no
You'd be laughing.
who
You'd be
cares?
looking at them going,
It's,
"Oh,
yeah, exactly. So it and I mean that's not saying it's right or wrong to like whether you can or you can't. I just think it's this kind of peer pressure. What will people think of me if I behave in a certain way? And I think that's just, I mean, that's not normal, but it's also quite restrictive because if you have that thinking across everything in your life, like you wouldn't come up with new ideas, you wouldn't come up with new ways of working, you wouldn't come up with opportunities. You'd think everything is as is. And I think it would be quite stifling in some ways.
I do think it's changed a little bit, though. Like I said, I don't think people get old in the respect that they used to 15
Correct.
years ago.
Yeah,
You
correct.
remember,
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of the films from the 80s, like, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, for example, or Home Alone, the mum and dad and that were in their very early 40s, which is the same, similar age to us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they were like completely different. They looked older, they dressed older. So I do think it's slowly starting to change. To me, this guy dresses older and looks older as well. But I wonder when as people our age get to that, will it still be the same? Because I don't think there'll ever come a point when I'm not wearing hoodies and jeans and things like that. Because that's what I like
I,
wearing and what I'm comfortable in.
I was
but he
about to
said
say,
he said
Mike,
to the, sorry,
I
Rob,
quite
go
like his
on.
jumper. I quite like his jumper. So it's
Yeah, no,
quite
it's not
quite
bad, but it's not bad. But I don't think you get someone early 20s wearing that.
yeah. Well, maybe you would. I don't know.
But you know what? Like
Yeah,
he
okay,
looks good for
maybe a bad
72.
example.
Yeah, I think he
He's
said
not
he was
72 though.
72.
64, isn't he?
Was it?
I think he's 64. Yeah.
Ah, from his, I thought he was
He's
72.
in, he's in his 50s, and then you've got the kid's, I think, 7-year-old. So definitely not in his 70s.
Okay.
He does
Yeah.
look good though. But let's keep it going.
Yeah. Fisherman vibes I'm getting.
Yeah, yeah.
Will you fall in love? And what will it be like?
I don't know. Like, we'll have babies, it will be like fun. I'll like have to change. Even though I'll have to change his diaper, it'll be fun.
Ah,
But what about if he cries?
well.
I don't sing like Ed Sheeran to him, like.
Hmm? And who do you love now? Who do you love now?
My mom.
Your mom? Your dad?
Yeah, I like my family. Did you fall in love? What was it like?
Yes, it was different for me. I fell in love late.
Sorry, what was that?
So he's trying not to break the kid when a kid's like, "What was love like for you?" And he's like, "I don't want to tell him how hard it really is."
Well, no. On a serious note, guys, you can see he's not wearing a wedding ring for a start.
Oh,
Don't know if you
okay,
picked
I
up
never
on
picked
that.
up that.
He's not wearing it, so I don't know if there's a loss story there, but I'd be interested. Let's keep it going if we can.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Sorry, I gotta say this because I'm thinking of it. I think already, like for younger people, for the little boy, love is a simple thing. It's because he's younger, he doesn't have the complexities of it. But for him, love is Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty. It's a Disney-fied version of love, isn't it? It's like you fall in love, and he doesn't overthink it more than that. For the gentleman now, it's obviously more complex, and then he's got to try and now convey that complexity, I would imagine, to this boy.
Do you know what? I wonder if the complexities of the brain, if that's because it hasn't developed, or is it because it's not experienced? On a biological level, is this because the way like babies develop colours over time? You don't see everything there and then. You get your red, then you get your other. I wonder if is his idea of love different purely 'cause it's based on inexperience, he doesn't know, or is the brain not capable of seeing all that right now because he's young? I wonder if there's like a proper science to that.
Well, there's an associative stuff, isn't there? Meaning, like through experience, you tag that then to terminology like love. Like love equals, if I say I love you, like that's just a word until you know and you've associated a meaning with what love is. So like you said, that love meaning will likely grow and develop over time as they say, all right, well, love equals hugs and kisses. It equals taking care of me. I'm loved because of I'm able to share something with someone. Relationship, like there's multi levels of like loving, right? So I could love you guys, for example, which would be different to how I love, someone else, how I love my mum or wherever it may be. There's different levels. But like as a child, like it's very, like you said, it's very simple because they've not had exposure to the opportunities to love in different ways. Perhaps they've got friendship love when they go to school. Then they've got love for their family for sure. Then they've got love of their toys and what they do. They love watching movies and stuff like this. So I think it's definitely as they age, it's an associative thing through experience. It's got to be, and how also the relationship between how they receive love is a mirror. So if they receive love in a positive way, they might perceive love as being a certain way. If you get me?
I think it's a fine line. I think like love is a word as well, and I feel like
Yeah.
there's a
Challenge.
fine line
Challenge.
between love and appreciation. And he appreciates the protection his mum and dad provide him. That they look after him. He appreciates the comfort, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then
It's a
when
good
someone says, "Did you fall in love?"
Yeah.
It's almost like completely different.
Mm.
Like when you're an adult compared to you need your parents, don't you, sort of thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
right, let's carry on.
My mom.
Your mom? Your dad?
I like my family. Did you fall in love? What was it like?
Yes, it was different for me. I fell in love late.
And did you get married?
No, unfortunately, my partner, she passed away. She died, unfortunately. That was a sad thing. Yeah, she got sick.
I'm gonna cry.
No, don't. No. No. These things happen, Sean. That's life. But I have very good memories. Very good memories. And you live, a lot of the time you live in your head with memories. You can remember all the good things, and that's the important thing. Well, the advice I would give...
I swear to God, if this video makes me cry on the internet, I'm not going to be happy.
I was just thinking that I'm looking away and looking down and right, just stay focused.
I mean, if it does, it does. But I think I was right. He wasn't wearing his wedding
Yeah.
ring. He obviously story there, which is really, really upsetting. Kudos for him for being strong, though.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't have to be. But that's
but
I think that's the advantage of being the adult there is the kid didn't know how to approach that. He's like, I'm going to cry. And
it's just not developed.
the adult was able to share his experience and be like, no, it's fine. I got to meet her and stuff like that, whereas the kid wouldn't understand that. He just goes, oh, well,
You notice, though, lads, like if I may, he mentioned a lot of good memories live in your head, no?
Yes.
Yep.
So then that thing of taking your images and stuff, then as he gets older now, I would encourage him from an advice perspective to take as much as he can, even though he's that opportunity's back, though, no?
As part of that, like I watched the other week, I've seen it before, but have you ever seen Coco?
I love
Disney Pixar's Coco.
Brilliant.
They talk about like the Day of the Dead and basically that somebody exists as long as they've remembered. So say you've got like a distant relative, at some point in time that person there'll be no one else who remembers they existed. There may be a record of them, but they don't. It's just somebody like. I think that's really important.
Well, they say in 100 years' time, no one you know will remember you. That's all. Like everyone you know, your children, you might be a distant memory to your grandchildren, but certainly from your great grandchildren onwards, that's it.
But like we were talking about, like this being a record of like if this is still on the internet, our great great grandchildren could be watching us now.
If we're lucky enough, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. This is the advice section now. I like it.
A lot of the time you live in your head with memories. You can remember all the good things, and that's the important thing. Well, the advice I would give to you, Sean, is you don't have to be rich to be happy. Do the things you like doing that make you feel good. Because when you're happy yourself, everybody else is happy.
Hey, Sean, do you have advice for Des?
To like act normal. Don't be silly. Don't bully lots of people. The people I know in school, like my friend Alex in school, whenever he gets hurt, I hug him. I might not be able to work, but
Oh, that's good advice. And be yourself. Don't let other people tell you what you should be. Just be as you are. Isn't that true?
yeah.
And I'm sure your life is going to be very successful. You have all the right things. You have all the right things to do. All your good friends. And keep those friends going. And keep life going. Oops.
There you go.
That's beautiful.
That kid will end up watching this in the future, and that gentleman will probably have passed. You know, and he probably remembered that from a distance. But now, you know, it's in video memory as well.
Yeah.
You know,
I love these videos. By the way, super good. Super good. Okay, review complete then, everyone. I think, yeah, thanks for watching. You know, if you like more of this content, please suggest alternatives. You know, we're happy to review these, others, anything that you feel would be really nice to have some perspective on. And again, encourage the conversation in the chat. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the time difference and the perspectives of the child, adult, how you see it going, especially on some of our comments around, you know, memories and things like that. So again, like, subscribe, it does help us out. And yeah, looking forward to your perspectives and interacting a little more in the future. Thanks.
don't forget your wave.
So, sorry, guys. While you were all being professional and ended it, I was just trying to ChatGPT what happened with this guy. Do we want to know this ending or not?
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
All right.
So how old was this guy in the video?
I thought he was about 64. I thought.
I thought he was older than that.
Don't worry, I got the wrong video.
Brilliant.
We're leaving this in. But thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
thanks everyone.